Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Here, basically, we are discussing about one topic that is the most dangerous topic, that is currencies. And in currencies, basically, we are discussing one topic that is ideas, and ideas are equal to global warming. In global warming, basically, we are discussing about one topic that is cities creation. In city creation, basically, we are discussing about one topic that is bomb blast. So one person told that. So you want to say that the bomb blast which is going to happen 4 or 5 days after, that is basically designed, basically you want to say. That means, for example, one person told that basically the earthquake data basically are decoded. The earthquake data basically are decoded, and how the city basically has created, on the base of the city basically the energy basically are getting created, and basically the on the base of the energy creation the cities are basically created. On the base of that basically the calculation basically the earthquakes basically happened. That earthquakes basically is going to convert, that earthquakes basically which has came, for that earthquakes basically what are the things basically which is planned. For example, this magnitude earthquake basically comes in this place, this many magnitude earthquake basically comes in that place, this many earthquake basically magnitude basically comes in those place. According to that basically the certain level of project management plans are designed basically. So one person told that you want to say that basically the bomb blast which is going to happen 5 days before basically, 5 days after basically, not before basically, 5 days after, that basically is planned basically. That basically for that one project manager is there basically, who is basically everything controlling each and everything basically, who is designing everything, who is basically designing the area, designing the things basically, connecting with the power companies. Because without power company basically bomb blast will not happen basically. Energy company, nuclear power company, he is basically communicating with this all these people. Then only basically the bomb blast basically happens. That means very well educated people basically are also in this basically behind. Then he told that basically yes, basically it's like that only basically. So in this basically the police group basically know that basically that after 5 days basically the bomb blast is going to happen. Mostly basically might be knowing also and might not be knowing also. We can't say basically, because police group basically are to secure the city basically. They are not to finish the city. Then one of the person told that basically, what about this Gaza and Israel basically? Both basically are fighting by the armies only basically. Then he told that basically yes, yeah, this is also correct basically. This things is also basically correct. This thing is also correct basically. That basically is also correct. So like this, one of the person told that on the base of the earthquakes basically, the entire plan basically are designed, that this earthquake has happened, so this activity do, this earthquake basically happened, that activity do, this earthquake basically magnitude happened at this place, this all are the activities we have to do. Like this basically literally project management plan basically are designed. Monies are allocated from the banks. Then basically it's 100% correct. So like this basically each and every things basically are handled like this basically, handled like this basically. So one of the person told that basically assume that basically in earthquake basically happened in Mumbai city. Assume basically. So Mumbai city is basically getting power supply and is created from, assume that, hundreds country basically. So what are the implementation and what are the execution which is going to happen in the 100 city basically? Can anybody basically can explain basically? Then he told that basically you have to decode the earthquake basically which is happened in the Mumbai city basically. According to that earthquake basically the set of plans basically are designed, and this everything is already system is done basically. If anybody want to change, the new generation want to change basically, they want to add something basically, or they want to remove anything basically, then they can remove it basically, or basically add also basically. But here basically few people says that basically without police permission you can't change the system basically. IAS officer basically are there who basically says that we have created the cities basically. Without our permission, how you can do that basically? Because cities created by the people basically, how without their permission basically you can do this type of activities basically. The things activities basically which is written in the project management plan basically. That is one software basically which is written basically that this whole activity do this whole activity, do that whole activity basically. So just see basically up to the things level basically are connected basically. But one of the person told that yeah, earthquake basically is like this basically, right? Earthquakes are connected with set of activities going to happen in the earth planet, right? Basically, then how basically the earthquakes are working here basically? Then one of the person told that earthquake basically 2 months before basically, for example, Vadodara city gets 2 month data in advance basically, right? So the earthquake is going to come basically. That basically any power supply expert group basically can identify basically. Then he told that basically it's difficult here basically because which type of power supply basically is going to generate just now basically because satellite groups are also connected. So Vadodara city environment keeps on changing basically. On that changes basically, which is happening on the base of that basically, the 2 months data basically are transferred to the environment basically. That basically is impossible basically. For that basically you have to do lots of analysis, lots of things basically you have to. Then only basically you can predict that basically the earthquake will happen in Vadodara city or not going to happen. So that's very dangerous basically. It's not dangerous basically, but it's very dangerous basically. So like these things also are also basically there basically. It's not like that basically the things are not there basically. So it's very dangerous system basically, which is already created. And in this basically IS officer basically say that basically without our, for example, Gaza and Israel basically started the war basically, right? So they basically might, the international court basically might have approved long before basically, because they have invested the money na basically. They have invested the money. Same way basically anything basically happens in any of the city in India basically, that also is approved long before basically. Why? Because the earthquake has happened na basically. Earthquake is directly connected with the glacier basically. If you are not doing the activities, then glacier is directly going to affect basically. And if glacier will affect basically, then lots of city will gonna go under water basically. If glacier is going to affect, because it's huge basically, and it's created basically. It's not like that basically. It's not created basically. Then one of the person told that basically, yeah, glacier actually will dump into the sea water basically. Then how basically sea water level, because ice basically can be not basically too much basically, right basically. Then how basically the city might effect here basically. How basically city will go under big city. How basically it will go into under water basically. Then he told that basically it's created by the set of nuclear power company basically. That's why basically, and sea water is also basically getting handled and maintained by the set of nuclear power company only basically. That's why basically. This is the only reason basically. Otherwise, from glacier basically the sea water basically is not going to come into the city and entire city is going to dump basically. It's not like that basically. But when it is going to merge to the cities of the sea water is basically going to merge with the glacier water, glacier ice basically, that is which is created by the nuclear company. Due to that reason basically the things are going to come basically like that. So through glacier basically effect basically happens, and effects are basically very bad basically, and earthquakes are directly connected with the glacier basically. That's why the system basically is created by the IAS officers, police groups, army groups, and the set of groups basically that are the political groups. This all have, they basically have created the system basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the glacier and the city which is getting created.